Why is golf so popular amongst the well-off? Because wealthier people with a lot of time on their hands tend to be older, and soccer and baseball aren't great things to play in your 60s. Additionally, you can play golf with a few people. You need a lot of wealthy 60-year-olds for 2 baseball teams. Golf isn't as physically demanding as other sports. It requires skill, sure, but you don't have to be in peak condition to play. It's also expensive. Keeping golf courses in good condition requires a lot of labor and resources, so country clubs cost a lot. If nothing else, it takes a lot of land and upkeep to create and maintain a golf course. There are some somewhat inexpensive public ones. There was one across the street from my old apartment, but mostly it costs money to run, so you have to have money coming in. A golf course is an expensive thing to build and maintain because it requires a lot of land and continuous effort. Therefore, access to a course is expensive by necessity, and thus being able to go there frequently is a surefire way to show everyone that you're wealthy. Or in other words, it's a status symbol. There are golf courses for all types. To be a member at an exclusive and expensive club, your yearly membership fee would be way more than any middle-class person could afford. And no, there are no scholarships. But there are also public courses that offer reasonably priced memberships. My dad, who worked in public schools his whole career, was a member at his local public course for decades and paid very affordable membership fees. And he bought knockoff clubs for 10 what name brand clubs cost, and used them until they literally wore out. Other sports are popular among rich people, but they don't make for good television movie scenes because golf is better for dialogue. Which is why golf is so popular among the well-connected. It's good for networking. You can do a lot of business over a round. It's much harder to do a deal when you're jockeying for a rebound. Resources. Golf requires lots of land. Golf requires lots of equipment. Golf requires lots of time. Rich people can afford these things. Poor people cannot. Because golf is basically something to do on their walk, and you will notice a lot are not capable of more physical sports. A lot of wealthy people schmooze with clients or potential clients while golfing. It's a way to spend good on your client, to make you look good, and also gives you the appearance of leisure while trying to make deals. So if rich people are golfing for business purposes, it contributes to the stereotype. Maybe because they are often close to cemeteries. My dad was a top golfer. It's just an excuse to get pissed, play some holes, piss up a tree, then off to the clubhouse for a drink or 3. A lot of people I work with play. I don't like them, so I don't play golf. It is a very expensive sport. Back in the day, rich people went to a lot of effort to keep non-rich people out of their clubs, which were the only places that had golf courses. So it starts from back then. It's also that in general it is expensive compared to other sports. Golf here and Reddit in general gets a lot of bad rap, and I understand. I'm a casual golfer. I picked it up a few years ago. I bought my first from a garage sale. It's really not as expensive as people make it out to be. I bought my first expensive set for $600 used online. If you want to practice for an hour, a large bucket is $12. A typical round on a weekend day is $50, which may sound like a lot, but that's 5-6 hours worth of golfing, which is $10 or less an hour. I make maybe $50K a year, and I find my time every other weekend to do, so I get this doesn't fit with the question of this post, but I've coached a handful of my friends through this sport who, though it was for rich snobby people, and they wound up loving it as much as me. It's you a ball and a hole. I encourage anyone who's even remotely interested to try it out. It isn't cheap to play golf. Like $100 to play a round in my area. Skiing and snowboarding became expensive too. It's the most pathetic sport that requires zero fitness. I wondered something similar when I was younger and in school. The answers I got ranged from you need to be able to go to courses with your own caddy, and when you get old, the only sport you'll still be able to play is golf. You know, since it's not a contact sport and you play it mostly standing in one spot, I guess. You're less likely to break a hip playing golf than you are football, or baseball or something. It's one of the few sports where you really don't have to be young or in great shape to play, or even to be good at it. It also has a relatively high cost to entry compared to most sports. I mean, there are cheap public courses, and you can get a handful of clubs for not much money. But if you're really into it and you've got the money, a great set of clubs can radically improve your game, and there are some beautiful courses that cost a lot of money to play at. Golf is fun when money isn't in the way. Enjoy the clubhouse, tips, renting the cart, etc. It's not a good use of money when you haven't got lots. But people from all backgrounds would likely enjoy the game, because it's fun and challenging.